Guys, let's get started. So welcome to this Power BI full stack course. Why it is called full stack? Because we are covering the suite of relevant skill sets around the Power BI tool, because most of you are completely new into the tool, Power BI tool, and importantly, you are completely new into analytics. So this training program is not only designed for the associates, those looking for domain change, but also it helps if you are already a Power BI developer, right? It will help you to take your career to the next level, because we cover the basic, intermediate, advanced level also. Okay, it is it's kind of a the project-based training program. Hence, you put your Power BI skills to the test and apply what you learned. Okay. And all right, before we get started, just a quick intro about me. I'm Satya. I'll be your trainer, and I carry close to 15.5 years of experience. Currently, I work as a lead data scientist and BI consultant for a US-based retail company, though with a development facility in Bangalore. So during my stint with the various engagements in the past, right, I had the opportunity to work in a complete life cycle of many business intelligence as well as AI related, artificial intelligence related projects. And I worked across various domain like industry, the retail, healthcare, and banking. Predominantly, I spent a lot of my time working in the retail domain. So that is pretty much about me. Let's take a quick look at the course. Today, we will take a look at now let us take a look at the topics that I'll be covering it as part of the demo session. To start with, let us understand what is analytics. And I could see that majority of you are completely new into analytics. And also we'll take a look at what exactly business intelligence is all about. Because if you say you are a Power BI developer, you should be knowing at least what is BI is all about. Okay. And the next one is what is Power BI and why Power BI? Why there is a lot of hype around Power BI? Is it hype or reality? And the next one is we will take a look at the various components as part of Power BI, and we'll take a deep dive in each component. Last but not the least, we'll see how we can install Power BI and setting up Power BI Cloud Service. Probably, right? So once you enroll for the course, right, probably after a month, I can help you out how to do this one. But I would suggest don't do it now, because the Power BI Cloud Service is licensed one. Though it is a licensed one, 60 days trial access they will give you if you sign up for it. If you sign up after a month, right, you will have sufficient amount of time to practice the topics, whatever I cover, especially on cloud. Okay. Okay, first thing first, what is analytics? Can someone tell me what is analytics? So, right, so in simple term, analytics is a method of exploring and then analyzing the data sets. The data sets could be either a medium size, or it could be a large data set. So nowadays, the volume of the data is very huge. Now we are in the big data era. The volume, especially when you work with companies like the retail, e-commerce companies, or right. So you take any industry, the volume of the data have grown up because the customers are now digital savvy. Everyone, they know how to use the internet, and everybody used to order the products on using the apps and the other applications, right? So hence the volume of the data have grown up like anything. So hence the now we do analytics on the large data sets. Learning how to perform analytics by simply visualizing the data are not sufficient. And at the same time, a lot of challenges are involved in terms of pre-processing the data, because the volume of the data is very high. Not only it is very high, guys, the data are scattered across different source systems. So by performing the data analytics, what am I going to get? You will be able to understand the patterns, okay, and which customers are buying which products, and more frequently, what is the next item they buy it, Okay, and also we can find out these kind of hidden trends and explore the new correlations. If I change the price, if I increase the price slightly, if I increase the price, less, are there any correlation in terms of the sales? Does price has any influence on the sales? Okay, or any offers? How much offer can I give? Okay, so can offer give any by increasing the offer or decreasing the offer, what would be the increase in my profitability, right? So finding out those kind of correlations and finding the hidden patterns, right? So the analytics very much important. It is helpful, and also it helps us to identify the problem areas. In case of, for example, in Q3, currently we are in okay, let's say 2022. Okay, let's go back to 2022, Q4 and Q1. Okay, in 2023, we wanted to see what is the revenue, okay, performance, right? The business performance we want to see. And Q1, the revenue is 10K, let's assume that, okay, and Q4, sorry, Q3. And Q3 is 10K, and Q4, we have something called 10.8K or so, or 11 or 11.2. But what is the margin here? How much profit what is the profit net margin percentage? So here, let's you have something like 10% margin, but here you have 6% margin only. But when you look at the dashboard, you can make out quickly in Q3 and Q4, this is the net revenue, though the net revenue is somewhat closer. And in fact, the Q4 is slightly more than my Q3, but my margin, my profit went down. There's a decline in my profitability, right? So profit percentage. Why? So what could be the reason? Okay, so by looking at this itself, you should be able to make out quickly where the problem, right? So you cannot understand where the problem, but you will get to know, are we on track? Are we on track, or is that something which requires deeper analytics? So by looking at this, you understand something wrong here, or is it something wrong or okay? So we want to do further analytics. That is called your diagnostic analytics. As part of diagnostic analytics, you try to find out the root cause, why there is a dip in profit percentage in this quarter compared to the previous quarter. By doing so, let's say, let's assume that you get to know in this quarter we spent more on advertisement, and we have given a lot of discount. Okay, discount also, and the margin was kind of wafer thin because to sustain the momentum, because competitors, right? So even they have given much cheaper cost than us in order to maintain the cost on par with them. So we have the margin was less on the products, on most of the products. Okay, for frequently selling products, and also the what is that? Right. So, and yeah, that is the thing. And plus, we have expended more money on advertisement also. But previous quarter in Q3, we did not spend much on advertisement, because of which it came down to 6%. Any of advertisement, so when you do any advertisement, it will take some time, right? So you cannot. So, but especially in the during festivals like Christmas and all, right? Christmas and Thanksgiving Day, those kind of time, right? The sales will be high. But the net, your revenue will be more, but profitability is less because of the offers, whatever you have given it. So if everything is okay, right? If something is justified, then it is okay, right? Unless you monitor or measure the KPIs or metrics, right? So how will you get to know where you are doing good, where you are not doing good? Okay, and also in specific region, north region or south region, or so let's say in the east region we are not performing well. So as soon as you find any problem there with respect to the dip in sales in a specific region, you can take a course correction then, and there is something wrong with the unawareness about our products or services in that specific region, Or is it something like the customers don't prefer the kind of product which we sell it? Or is it something like the marketing people whose performance is not that good? So probably if that is the case, we can deploy some experienced people there. Okay, so by performing analysis, not only we get to know the trends, and also we identify the problem areas, and we can make course correction then and there, right? And also by doing the analytics, you will get to know top selling products, bottom selling products. And by bottom selling products, if you get to know, in the sense negative margin, if you sell the products better, you can discontinue. If you don't do any analytics, what will happen? You will keep selling the products with the negative margin. End of the day, it will have a serious hit on your top and bottom lines. So there are 4 types of analytics. Okay, this is just basic thing from the interview point of view. They might expect you to be aware, but forget about the interview point of view. But still, if you say you're an analytics professional, you should be knowing, these 4 types of analytics. The descriptive analytics. So this is what there have been organizations or enterprise, they've been doing it since many years. As per descriptive analytics, is something like you create a reports and share it with your stakeholders, internal stakeholders. With this descriptive analytics, you will get to know what happened currently, what has happened in the past. Okay, and you will get to know that. And diagnostic analytics, we go one step further. In case when you go through your metrics on your dashboard, if you find something wrong, right? So what we do is we take a deep dive to understand why something went wrong. Like I said, in Q3 and Q4, though the revenue was somewhat closer, the profit, we could see a dip in profitability. So in that kind of situation, we go one step further, understand what caused, the dip in the profitability. So now what happened, the enterprises, they wanted to be more proactive. They want to go one step further to understand what is going to happen in the future. That is where the predictive analytics is coming into picture. This is where the AI, artificial intelligence, comes into picture. Even in the case of any data visualization like Power BI or Tableau, it's all now powered with artificial intelligence features. Also, by predicting the future, for example, I wanted to predict what is the amount spent by my customer in the next quarter, or which products are more likely to be purchased by customers in the upcoming quarter or upcoming month. So what I can do is I can plan my storage, right? I can plan, so I don't want to end up something like overstocking or understocking. So in that kind of situation, the predictive analytics is helpful. And also there are scenarios like I wanted to proactively find out which customers are more likely to churn. What do you mean by churn? Customers are walking out. Which customers are more likely to leave my business? If I know well ahead, before even they leave my business, I can call them and find out from them, why are they not purchasing as frequently as as they do it in the past, as they did it in the past. So we could see that the sales is, they're not purchasing. There are some customers, the potential customers. There are some customers, right? Those they buy it more frequently. Now they are buying it rarely from my website. Okay, so contact them and find out from them what was the reason. If they say there was something wrong with the duration, shipment duration, it takes longer time to deliver it. Or there are some cases, even though if it takes longer time, we are receiving the defective products. And the replacement, though it is promised to replace, replacement was not done. So those kind of issues, if we can understand by talking to those customers or at risk, you can come up with a strategy, right? The retention strategy to retain the customer, rather than losing the customer and then running after them. It is not good. And again, onboarding cost is very high. If you want to onboard any new customer, the onboarding costs are very high, right? Rather than spending more money in onboarding the customers, better you retain the existing customers, right? So those kind of things you can come up as part of predictive analytics. Predictive analytics can help you to predict which customers or potential customers are at risk. That's it. But we go one step further. There is something else called prescriptive analytics. As part of this, we come up with the retention strategy. Okay, these are the customers who are more likely to leave my business. What strategy can I come up in order to retain them? How do I prevent the churn? Okay. So in that case, right, as part of prescription, you come up with some action plans. How do I prevent those kind of customers? Anyhow, I'm not going to discuss in depth about the prescriptive analytics. So these are the 4 types of analytics you should be aware as a BI developer or BI analyst or consultant. The next one is the business intelligence. What is business intelligence? Power BI falls under the BI space, business intelligence space. First of all, what is business intelligence? Business intelligence is nothing but the set of processes, architecture, technologies. These are called your business intelligence, using which using business intelligence, we convert the raw data into meaningful data. And then by visualizing these data, what do you mean by meaningful data? We pre-process the data, okay? And then with this pre-processed data, when you visualize, when you plot the charts or something like that, you will, those charts can help you to gain insights. So business intelligence, in a nutshell, is about set of processes. What do you mean by processes? Collecting the data, modeling the data, pre-processing the data, and modeling the data. Actually, first step is this one, and second one is this one, and third one is this one. Okay. And you need to clean the data in case of any data related issues, right? So for example, you have some duplicate records, you want to do some deduplication, and you want to do perform some kind of data imputation, data discretization, everything you do it here. Supposing you want to merge the data set, or you want to append the data set, you want to do some kind of reformatting, reshaping, everything you do it before you start do the modeling part, and then you do the modeling. What is modeling? Modeling is creating the relationship between the tables. So why should I do modeling? Is that not a responsibility of data architect? Yes, it is the responsibility of data architect. But if you know the data modeling, how to perform data modeling or design also, right, it will complement your skill set. In fact, we have something like this, right? All of you, I guess. Okay, in the interest of those of you who are completely new into data analytics or software, right? So as part of business intelligence, there are 2 important tasks that we carry out. The first one is the ETL, extract the data from the source system, and then transform the data in the required format, and then load the data into data warehouse or so. Okay. And the second step is reporting or dashboarding, right? So using Power BI, we can do both ETL as well as reporting. Though we can do both, you cannot perform the full-blown ETL part using especially the T part, using your Power BI. There is something called Power Query Editor. You cannot do it because of some limitation, especially if your source system is a SQL server, right? You cannot do the full-blown data transformation because of limitations, okay? But in a nutshell, as part of the business intelligence, we perform 2 tasks, the ETL task and then the reporting. Okay, and there are some cases, right? There are the ETL experts. They will be. So you have a separate team for ETL. They are the one responsible pre-processing, extracting the data, transforming data, and loading the data in your data warehouse. And once the clean data is available, or pre-processed data is available in a repository, centralized repository, something like your data warehouse, then the reporting user can go and pick up the data from there. See, it's something like this. This is your source system. Let's say you are into e-commerce business, let's say as Amazon, right? You are ordering the products via Amazon app or Amazon website, right? So in that case, all your orders will get stored in your source system database. Even this one is also RDBMS, and you have something else called data warehouse. So here the transactional data will be available, and also they don't store the historical data here because millions of users across the globe with different time zones, they are ordering the products. Okay. In that case, this database, the source system database already, overloaded, right? So many users are concurrently accessing this database. So on top, if I keep the data, historical data here, what will happen? Since the data volume is very high, raising the order, viewing the product price, everything will take longer time. Usually in the source system, we don't keep the historical data. Okay, this is for end user. Those want to order the product on my website, they can come and order it here. And if they want, since to facilitate the users to raise the orders in a matter of seconds, right? So what we do is we keep less amount of data in the source system. Okay, and okay, the next question is, okay, I want to do some kind of historical analysis. Current quarter, what is the current quarter sales performance versus the last year's same time, the same quarter, what is the sales performance or profitability? You need to have the historical data. In that case, what we do is, okay, keep all the history in your data warehouse and keep, the at least, reasonably 1 year data here. Don't keep too much of data here. It will slow down the performance. So there is a necessity for keeping the data warehouse to house the historical data because you want to perform analytics on a timely basis, right? So this quarter versus previous quarter, Q4 versus Q1, if you want to compare, or Q4, Q3, Q2, and all the 4 quarters is you need to have the history, right? History data. So I don't want to keep the history here because it will slow down the performance. Hence, we divided this into 2 different parts. One is for this one ordering, the other one is for transactional purpose, and other one is for historical data. So the data, before we extract the data, once we extract the data from your source system, right, to keep a history in your data warehouse, you need to load the data, right? So every transaction you need to load it here. Every transaction, sense the relevant transaction, which is specific to your reporting requirement. Okay, so those data you will load it here on a daily basis or weekly basis, monthly basis. Here you need to keep loaded to maintain history, so that the reporting user can do slicing and dicing on these historical data to perform advanced analytics or any analytics to gain more insights. Okay, so business center is nothing but set of processes. What is set of processes? Collecting the data, pre-processing the data, and then right, in order to do this, what kind of architecture is required? Do we need to have the staging area, okay, and staging area, and then do we have to have the data kind of architecture? We define it, and then what kind of tools and technology that we can use it? Can I use Python, or can I use Power BI tool? Okay, or can I use SQL queries, or can I create a stored position in my source system itself? This is my SQL server, right? Because of limitations in the Power BI Power Query editor, right? So what we do is there are certain ETL transactions, we do it at the source system itself. For that, we create stored procedure, stored function, and so on. And again, to track the ETL jobs performance, right? What we do is within the staging area, we create some tables, audit tables, right? So what time the data got loaded, what time the data got failed, everything we will record it. It's kind of a journal file. Okay, so the architecture like this, we come up, do we need to have a staging area? Do we need to have data warehouse, or do we need to have data mart also? So that is what business intelligence is all about. Don't worry about this, guys. We'll take a deep dive when I cover the BA part, as part of this training program in the middle of the course. Okay, don't worry. So by end of the day, we convert the raw data, because in the source system we get the raw data. We convert the raw data into the required format, so that it's kind of a plain vanilla. You can use your reporting tool and generate the reports. This is a sample dashboard or a report. So here you can see this in this dashboard of the KPIs, like the number of customers, how many number of customers we have onboarded so far, and how many policies we sold. This is an insurance dashboard. Okay, insurance company dashboard. And how much premium amount we collected, what is the claim amount we have settled so far. Okay, and again, it gives us the split up how many number of, what is the percentage of customers are employed, right? So here we specify it. This one will give additional insight just by knowing how many number of customers we onboarded so far. If you know the split up, right, it will give them better insight. And if you see, right, and along with the KPIs, we have the important visuals here. So they, with this, they can understand quickly what is happening currently. It gives them the gist of what is happening at a high level. Okay. And again, the dashboards, we create different types of dashboards because different line of business, different departments in a company need different dashboards. Finance manager wants to see the operating margin, net revenue, gross revenue. But the marketing manager, he doesn't want to know the operating margin on top, right? So hence the KPIs will vary from one department to another department. Obviously, the dashboard or reporting requirements also will vary from one department to another department. Okay. Okay, now we will take a look at what is Power BI. Power BI is Microsoft product. What is the big deal, right? So it's a self-service business intelligence tool. It is also called a self-service business intelligence tool. What do you mean by self-service? To develop any simple report or medium complex report, right? You don't need to be a tech savvy. And especially when you work with a single file, you don't need to be a tech savvy. You can simply drag and drop and create the visuals that are required to do some kind of analytics. Okay, it doesn't require too much of technical skills. You don't have to write lines and lines of code. Okay, does that mean Power BI is very simple? Then why should I learn it? Why should I go for a training? Training is basically will help you to upskill and understand how to perform basic advanced analytics, to perform intermediate advanced analytics, and especially on the ETL point of view, right? You need someone's help, right? You can learn it from the net, but it will take longer time, right? So hence training is required. As part of this training program will help reduce your learning curve, especially in the DAX part. Okay, the DAX, data analytics expressions, even in the case of Power Query Editor. So what you can do, what you cannot do. SQL Server also will show you how to create a stored procedure, how to invoke those stored procedure from your Power BI to perform some kind of complex ETL transformation. Okay, because all kind of data transformation, you cannot do it using Power BI, especially if your source system is SQL Server and if you are connected with direct connectivity mode. Okay, obviously you need some kind of support, hand-holding. So we will reduce your learning curve. Okay. So why Power BI? Why there is a lot of hype around Power BI? Is that an hype or reality? Okay, it is not an hype, it is reality. Okay, because the reason why customers are running out of Power BI tool is, the number one reason is cost. Okay, it is one of the cheapest tool in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. And if you compare with other tools, it is cheaper. It's hardly costs $10 per user per month. Okay, per user per month. It will cost only $10 if you want to go for a licensed one. And when it comes to Power BI Desktop, it's absolutely free. There is no trial duration. Okay, you can use it as long as you want it. And there is no limitation with respect to the connecting to different source system and all. You can connect to any type of source system, even with the the free version of your Power BI Desktop. Okay. But if you wanted to deploy your reports and dashboards on cloud, it is a licensed one. Though they give 60 days trial period, that is not sufficient. When it comes to enterprise, obviously you need to have you need to publish the reports on a regular basis, right? So in the periodical basis, in that case, the start with Pro, and if your data volume is too high, everything, right? So then you can go for premium. Most of the enterprise, they go for premium license. Okay. Even the premium license is also cheaper compared to Tableau, tool and all. So even the Tableau customers, we could see that they started migrating to Power BI, Microsoft tool. The other important reason is features. It's about a lot of features. You can write 1200 different functions like M and DAX functions. And also you can create approximately 200 plus visuals, which means the charts in Power BI. Okay, and the next one is the data connectivity. You can connect to 100 plus different sources. You can use Excel, Big Data, Hive, SQL, or NoSQL database, or Oracle. You name anything, it can pull the data from the data source. We can pull the data from structured, semi-structured, unstructured data in using Power BI. Next, we will jump into the architecture of the Power BI environment. Now let's see how each component or interact with one another, okay, or talk to one another. So as you can see here in this architecture, right, diagram, there are two sides of Power BI. So one is the on-premise, the other one is the cloud. So what is on-premise? It is a physical server. It is located in your office premises. Okay. And what is cloud? Cloud is a virtual server. The servers are maintained by someone else on your behalf. Someone, they are maintaining your server. All you need to do is go and sign up or subscribe with them. And then you can go and, you can go and subscribe it for the number of resources that you needed. Okay. So you don't have to have the headache of applying the patches for your operating system software, or you don't have to have the headache of maintaining the servers, right? So, and you don't have to have the headache of the security, implementing security patches, all the thing. Everything is taken care of by the cloud service providers like AWS, Microsoft Azure Cloud, Google Cloud Platform. They are the major players on the cloud space. Okay, here, as you can see, this is your Power BI desktop. Here, what we can do is you can connect to your cloud, and if your data are available on cloud, especially in the Salesforce CRM application, right? So you can go and pick up the data. You have a connector that is available in your Power BI desktop. You can connect to Azure SQL database. You can connect to Azure Blob storage. You see your data is available blob storage, BLOB, blob storage. Or the Excel file or any other file, right? So you can go and connect to the various source systems, even if it is on cloud, right? You can bring those data to your Power BI desktop, and you can do data cleaning, data pre-processing, and then you can create the visually appealing, stunning reports. Once you create the reports, you can share it to your stakeholders. Those are located across the globe. Okay, let's say you developed a report in US, your San Jose office, and you want to share the same report with other stakeholders. They are located across US, right? So once you publish it on cloud, it can be accessed by anyone from irrespective of the location where they live. They can access it with any device at any time, be it a smartphone or laptop or tablet. Once you publish it on cloud, people can access it. Especially those people have access. Okay, they can access the Power BI cloud service. This is a Power BI cloud service. It involves licensing cost. Okay, whereas the Power BI desktop, absolutely free. Okay, and the mobile service, you can download it from your Play Store and install it, so that on the go you can connect to your Power BI cloud service and look at, visualize the report which you wanted to see it on the go. Okay, and the next one is the report server. The whatever you can do with Power BI cloud, the same thing you can do it. So in Power BI cloud service, you can share the reports, or you can you can enhance the existing report, whatever the published report, or you can create a new report also. Okay, but you cannot do data modeling here. Okay, but you can once you publish the report, you can do enhancement, everything you can do it. And you can also load the data here on cloud directly, okay? And you can create a new reports, but data modeling is not possible. But the dashboard, you can create a dashboard using Power BI cloud service only. You cannot create a dashboard in your report server or in your Power BI desktop. Okay, what is the difference between report and dashboard? How many of you are aware of this? And dashboard is a single page. Okay, it captures all important KPIs or the metrics along with the the visuals that are important, right? The important visuals. So single page one, and whereas the report, it can have multiple pages. You can have a multiple pages of reports in a single report itself. Something like in Excel, you can have multiple subsheets, right? A single Excel file, the same thing. Reports. Let's say you have created 3 different reports, report 2, report 3, and your dashboard can, these 3 reports can source your dashboard. For example, you have a finance report. The finance report using operating margin is available, and then the net margin is available, and then net margin percentage is available, net revenue is available. These are the metrics that that are required as part of this dashboard. You can simply drag and drop it here. This we call it as a pinning, right? This is kind of a fancy word. When it comes to they use this term pinning. You can pin the visuals. Visuals are nothing but the charts, okay? From one report to another report, you can bring it, okay? And you have something else called payroll, right? Payroll department dashboard, payroll department manager, right? So department, he wants to see his own dashboard. In his dashboard, there is something called the churn rate and the cost to the company, right? So the cost to the company you can pick up here and then you can drag and drop it. So dashboard is a single page. You can source the visuals from already deployed reports, okay? If you don't want to pick up from here, you can directly also create the KPIs here, but usually we do it this way, okay? Why we have to reinvent the wheel? If you already have the required KPIs that are available under various reports, you can pick up and put it here. Okay, the dashboard you can create it as part of Power BI cloud service, but report server you cannot do it. Now the question is, what is this report? So does it involve any licensing cost? Yes. If your organization data is very sensitive, those sensitive data, right, related reports, you can publish it here instead of publishing it here. Okay. So it depends on your use case or requirement. Okay, you need to take a call. Okay, because if you buy these two, right, it involves a lot of licensing cost. The cost is very high. But if the data needs to be, secured, obviously you need to. There is no compromise. Then you can go for report server. Report server, whatever you can do to Power BI cloud service, you can do it, but you cannot create a dashboard here also. Okay. And the next one is the data gateway. Data gateway is another component. It's kind of an agent. Okay. Once you publish a report, what happens is behind the scene, the data gateway, whatever the data that are relevant to that specific report which you publish it, right? It publish the data also along with the report in a very secured manner. And also, let's say you have published 200 reports from your Power BI. You developed many reports and then you published on cloud. Out of the 200 reports, let's say 100 reports are daily summary report. So there is the daily summary reports should get refreshed on a daily basis because they want to see the fresh data in the report daily, right? So I want to see today's sales performance. So once let's say you published your report on 25th December 2022, the 200 reports or the 100 reports, okay? And it should show on a daily basis, right? Daily sales performance also. It should not like whenever you open the report, it should not show only the 25th of December sales performance or data. So in order to keep your reports up to date, the data gateway plays an important role, using which you can configure the incremental data refresh. Okay, incremental data refresh, or even one-time data refresh also you can do it. You can schedule the data refreshing so that your reports will be up to date. Okay, so we understood the important components that are part of the Power BI architecture. Licensing cost, we will discuss it, probably later. Okay, in the later session. And apart from the report server, we have something else called report builder. As part of report builder, what we can do is we can create pixel perfect reports. By default, in the case of Power BI, the reports are not pixel perfect. If you wanted the reports to be pixel perfect, then you can go for report builder. This involves additional licensing cost. What do you mean by pixel perfect report? For example, your invoice, right? Your purchase order, PO, purchase order, invoice, or your delivery challan, right? All these things are pre-printed, right? So in order to pre-print the required format, everything, right? So pixel perfect, you want the resolution to be pixel perfect, everything. In that case, you can go for report builder. Apart from this, we have something else called Power Embedded. Even Power Embedded is also a licensed one. It is an Azure service, so it enables the business to embed your Power BI capabilities into other apps. For example, I published a dashboard or report on cloud. I want the same report or dashboard to be embedded in my website or blog. That is possible with Power BI Embedded. Okay, and these are the desktop components. We will take a deep dive about each of this in the next session. Okay, and the next session is already 10:47. I just show you the Power. Okay, apart from the Power BI, we plan to cover the Power Automate also. What is Power Automate? Using, as the name suggests, you can automate your task. So automation is one of the important tasks, right? As part of the computerization, you take, let's say if your organization wants to do complete their entire process, they wanted to automate it or computerization, we do automation, right? So using Power Automate, how we can do the automation, even the ETL process also. Okay, from my OLTP to staging, the data should be extracted and so on, so time. Okay, and as soon as the data get extracted, the data transformation related jobs needs to be triggered automatically. Everything you can configure it as part of your Power Automate. And Power Ops also we are going to cover to some extent. And importantly, the data modeling concepts, BI concepts will be covered. That is very important. Okay, and you will be learning what is data warehouse, what is data lake. Okay, all the things you'll be learning it. Okay, now we will just, I'll just show you what kind of projects that you are going to work. We have the banking project, and also we have insurance project. And in the retail space, we have the sales dashboard, HR analytics, and supply chain analytics. These are the projects you'll be working on it. And also as part of this training program, whatever the demo we give it, right? So it's all, in most of the cases, we share the real-time scenarios. So that once you complete the training program, it can help you, even if you get placed with a new employer or with your present company, if you want to create visibility for yourself, right? You can, apply whatever we teach you so that you can perform advanced analytics also without much dependency. That is very important. So we give you the data set, everything, and we'll give you the use cases, okay, and then the business requirement, everything. So with that, you need to build the visually compelling reports and dashboards. Okay, we'll also help you out. We have solution report videos also available in case you cannot complete it, or let's say you completed it but partially completed, you want to validate it. you can validate with our solutioning video. Okay. So this is your HR analytics. Okay. Account analytics, demographics, and performance tracker, this kind of executive dashboard. And if you click on this one, if you click on demographics, it will take you to this one. Okay, and again, we cover the advanced part also. Look here, the data modeling part. And if you see this table, multiple relationships are there, right? So we have more than one relationships are there between these two tables. Right, little bit complex one also will share it, and then complex assignments are also there. We work on it. That is enough. Okay, so once you complete the training program, you'll be up and running. You can start work with any kind of complex or the intermediate complex reports and dashboards you can create it. It's not that once the training program is over, our relationship ends. Even after the training program, if you want our help, for example, they schedule an interview probably day after tomorrow, right? If you can inform us well ahead, we'll try to help brush up, and even after completion of the training, we'll conduct mock interview. Okay, and if you find your performance is good, reasonably good, even if it is not good, we will give you feedback, right? And then we will try to help you how we need to articulate for a specific scenario with your prospective employees. Okay. Right. So that's pretty much from my side. You guys have any questions so far? So not only HR analytics, right? We have the retail sales performance dashboards. Okay, it will help you to create stunning dashboards, okay, and reports. And also the DAX advanced part also will cover. With the DAX, you can perform advanced analytics also. And also, let's say you are a functional expert. You're already working as a functional expert. And learning curve is not too much here. Okay, but only thing is dedication. If you keep practice it, that is enough. If you understand the data modeling part, DAX, that is more than sufficient. Plus the data transformation part. I guess those of you are working as a business analyst also, right? You know what is data transformation very well. You are the one interacting or liaising with the customers. You know the business logic very well, right? So you would have helped the offshore team to understand the logic, and you help them to implement those logic in their ETL pipelines. Yeah, release management pipeline also we will touch upon it. Okay. Plus you will be learning SSIS. Okay. Or see, the Power BI and SQL will try to come in 2 months time. With that itself, you can position yourself as a data analyst. And also because we cover a lot of real-time scenarios. Okay. And also the SSIS and Power Automate and Power Apps will that requires probably additional 3 to 4 weeks time. Okay, but in 2.5 months time, we can help you to get into a job. Okay, because we have a lot of tie-up with various placement consultancies and the tier 1 and tier 2 company also. Okay, guys, I thought of creating a dashboard and give you a demo because of time limitation, I cannot do it. And what we will do is, once we hear from you, right, you are okay to go ahead and sign up. Then what we will do is we'll share, we will give you access to our website wherein you can take a look at the previous batch recorded videos or the live session recorded videos. You will have access to study materials and all the report files and what else? The SQL Server script. And even SSIS also, we just touch upon it. Okay, 1 or 2 sessions will be there, right? But you can position yourself as a SQL and Power BI developer. Okay, you cannot be, you will not be landing up something like, right? Master of all, joker of all, master of nothing, right? So what we do is we focus more on SQL and Power BI. Power Automate will give you some demo how to do automation, And Power Apps also, right? How you can create some apps and all. Okay, how we can do it. We'll touch upon it. But end of the day, when you put all the skill sets in your resume, marketing your resume is very simple. Not only marketing, even your present or you can you can apply whatever you learn it as part of this training program, so that you can bring a lot of value to your your org's table. Okay, guys, I'm done with it. Any questions so far? Yeah, if everything goes well, right? What I do is this Wednesday and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning by 9:30 we'll start. 10:30, probably 1.5 hours we will have it. Okay, so that 4.5 hours we will be in a position to cover everything in 2 months' time. And if required, we will have additional sessions also. Okay, we'll see how about your availability also, and then we'll decide. Okay. The goal is 2 months will complete Power BI and SQL Server, and additional things like the Power Automate and SSIS, Power Apps. It requires other 3 weeks time. But as soon as you complete this 2 months course or 2.5 months course, right, you can start float your resume if you are looking for a job change. I could see that most of you are looking for a job change. Okay, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. And when can we hear from you guys? Any of you just get back to us, because day after tomorrow we are going to continue this batch. Okay, fine. Since I don't have any questions so far, right? So I'm going to end the session now.